Welcome back. But it's no longer just the rich and famous who are having to take DNA tests. As we reported earlier this year, they're now available to anyone who wants them. Tonight she'll discover whether the man she has called Dad for the last 23 years really is her father.
I'm a daddy's girl. I've always been for my dad. I've always had a special relationship with my dad. Me and my dad, very close. I can go to my dad with everything, anything. You know, he's always been there for me, always.
Julie's waiting for the results of a DNA paternity test, which will settle once and for all the doubts over her father. Doubts planted in her mind 4 years ago by a drunken family friend.
He turned around to me and said, "Oh, I've got something to tell you." And I went, "What?" And he went, "It's about your dad." And I went, "What about him?" And he said, "He's not your dad." Well, that was it then. I was crying, physically sick. I was up all night. Then the next day, I went round to my mum's and I confronted her, and she told me it was true.
But when Julie confronted her dad, he said her mum was lying. Caught in the middle, the uncertainties become unbearable. She's now reached the point where she feels she needs to know the truth.
Somebody's lying to me at the end of the day, and I want to know who it is. I want to know if my dad is my dad. Whatever the outcome, he'll always be my dad. But it's just, I need to know. I just need to know.
And these days, everyone who wants to know can. Thanks to the internet, DNA paternity testing is no longer the expensive and complicated process it used to be. Now the truth is just a mouse click away. Jeff is a millionaire businessman from Surrey. He split from his wife after she admitted to an affair. While he was convinced he was the father of the first child, he wasn't so sure about his twin daughters.
It's only after the breakup that you get doubts. And of course I had to make some financial decisions on private schooling and stuff, which I wanted to make with a clear head and a clear conscience. What children don't sleep with their mouth open. I took a swab from the child, took a swab from myself, sealed it in an envelope, and it's really just a 5-minute job, so it's so straightforward.
Father 773.
After posting the swabs to the labs for analysis, all Jeff could do was wait.
I guess I had sleepless nights worrying about that, how I would react. I eventually came to the conclusion that it wouldn't change my attitude towards the children.
A few days after taking the test, Jeff received his results by email.
I was the father, it was the answer I wanted, and I was absolutely delighted. I mean, I was so happy and so confident about the rest of my life, and so pleased for the children and everything. I mean, it just lit up my life.
Jeff's one of the lucky ones. He got the result he wanted, and for Julie, her agonizing wait is nearly over too. In just a few moments, she'll finally discover whether the dad she's loved for 23 years really is her father.
Hello?
May I speak to Julie Bamber?
Speaking.
Hi, Julie. This
Hiya.
is Wendy Barley from DNA Solutions.
Hiya.
How are you?
Not
Nervous?
too bad. Yeah,
Okay.
very.
I have your results.
Yeah.
If you'll just give me your password, we can proceed.
Sheldon.
Okay. Julie, we found the DNA from sample labeled father to have at least 4 excluding mismatching DNA sequences from the sample labeled Julie Bamber.
So what does that mean?
This means that with above 99.99% accuracy, that the person whose sample was labeled father could not be the biological father of the person whose sample was labeled Juliette Bamber.
DNA Solutions, who provided Julie Bamber with her test, recently became the first to open an office in the UK. Despite Julie's shock, her relationship with the man she calls father has been unaffected. In fact, Julie says, if anything, they're now closer. She has no desire to trace her biological father.